This is the Lytec mobile app. Hopefully everybody can see this. And with the Lytec mobile app, um, with the Lytec mobile app, it automatically will sync your appointments between Lytec practice management and Lytec mobile. And basically, as you can see here on the Lytec screen, I have 4 appointments for today. And you can also see that on the Lytec mobile app as well. And so from the Lytec mobile app, you can do a few things here. We're going to pull up Donald Greg here, and you can see that the color codes match the color codes that's in Lytec practice management. If you click on the down arrow will show you some additional information here, such as, whatever is entered in Lytec as far as the appointment reason, the status, the resource. If you have multiple resources set up, it will show you that. It also shows you some basic demographics information as well as insurance information. And if they have permanent diagnosis codes in the system, you can see that here as well. So if I go to Steve, you see that Steve has some permanent diagnosis code set up in the system here. If you want to enter a note in here, so if I click on note and click on note and type in a note, you can type that in, hit save, and then that will actually go into the note section here in Lytec. And if you pull up Donald Gregg now, you see that the note here, whatever I entered in Lytec mobile gets put into the appointment in Lytec practice management. Anyhow, a few other things you can do as far as scheduling appointments. You have the color codes that we discussed, the drop down arrows here. You can edit appointments or schedule appointments. So if you want, you can click on schedule appointment here, and now it brings up your calendar. And if we scroll down, you'll see the appointments that we have on the calendar here. If you want to edit an appointment, you can highlight an appointment that's on the calendar and you can edit it, or you can add a new appointment. So if we click on add here, and we can type in a patient's name and you hit Smith, or so I typed in Smith. We have Allison Smith here. I can go ahead and select her. I can select the reason codes, and these reason codes sync with Lytec. So whatever your reason codes are in Lytec, they'll be the same here. You can select the duration, the provider, the notes, and so forth, and then you can save. And now we have Allison Smith on the calendar. You can delete appointments, or as I said, you can also edit the appointment. You can view the monthly calendar here if you want to switch dates, or you can just go today. So that's how adding and editing appointments will work. So the next feature I wanted to show you is the patient intake. This is probably one of the more important features in Lytec Mobile. And what this allows you to do is this allows you to actually, you can put Lytec Mobile on an Android tablet or iPad, and you can give this to the patients as they come in, and you can set up, basically, they can fill out their demographic information or review their demographic information, or you can also ask questions, and you can even have them sign off on documents such as like consent forms and whatever other type of forms your office may use. So what we're going to do is first we're going to start with Greg Donald here, and I'm going to go ahead and do a patient intake. Now, once you go into the patient intake form, okay, it's basically locked. Okay, so this is as if you were giving this to the patient. You would not want them to be able to get out of this screen and be able to pull up other patients' information and so forth. So here you can see we have everything listed out. We have, since this is an existing patient already, this goes through and it'll list their address information and all their other patient demographics. So here now, I'm just going to go ahead and add their phone number in here. We'll just do 678. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just leave that there, and you're going to see how Lytec is going to handle that when we get to after we save this. So you go through, they're going to go through, they can answer, update all their information here. And as you can see, these, whenever there's a drop down, there's an option here. So if we had in here that they were single, but they're actually married, we can change that here. Ethnicity, they can select that, whatever information they put in here. So now when they get to the bottom, they can hit continue to next section. And they can continue adding in any information that may be required. And then they can continue each section here. And now this is the payment responsibility. They can, keep continuing. Now, if they want, you could also just jump around from here and if they skip a section or don't know how to fill it out or something like that. Now we come to our medical history. And this is pretty cool here, where you can actually go into and ask them any questions that you want to regarding their medical history or any other questions that you may want to ask. So here I'm going to go ahead and just check a few of these so you can see how it goes into Lytec. Have you had any following surgeries? We'll just put in here gallbladder, family history. We'll go ahead and just check some of these here. And then any medications that they may be taking, you can ask, you can enter that in here. Any alert allergies, currently smoking, and then we're going to hit continue to next section. So now we have the forms and signatures section, and here is where you can have them fill out, actually sign off on forms. So here we can review the financial policy. You can have the financial policy put in here. They click on accept, and you notice that this gets checked here. Same thing with new patient consent. They can check that in office policies. Okay, and then the patient is the person reviewing, and so you can check that. If it's somebody else, like if it's a child with a parent, that the parent can type in their name here. And then I'm going to hit continue. Now, once they're finished, they're going to click on this, and now it says to bring the device to the front desk. So here is where basically it's locked, and when they bring it to the front desk person would then put in their username and password to send in to log in, and it'll save the patient the patient data here. And I think I typed my password incorrectly. Okay, so now you notice there's a little patient or icon here next to Donald, showing that or actually it's Donald Greg, showing that the information was entered in and they are ready to be seen. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into Lytec over here, and the first thing I want to show you is when I pull up pending patients from the list here, you're going to see Greg Donald here on today's date. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Greg Donald, and actually sorry, there might be two in here that we're done. So now you can see everything that is in red has been what has been added or modified. Okay, so we added a cell phone number, we added the patient's status, we added the ethnicity, the race, and the phone number here. So all that is in red. So now what we can do is once you review the information, you can actually save it, and it will save the information into Lytec. So when you pull up that patient, that information that you entered into the system is now in Lytec here. So we have the mobile phone, we have the ethnicity, the race, and so forth. So now if they were a new patient, okay, as is the case, let me go back to Lytec Mobile here. So John Williams is actually a new patient. As you can see, nothing is entered in here. And basically it would work the same exact way where you click on patient intake and it would go through and go through all the other questions that you have in Lytec, the demographics, they can enter all that in, and all that would get put into Lytec. So Lytec knows if it's a new patient or an existing patient. The other thing I wanted to show you is if you go into patients here now and we pull up our patient, Donald Gregg, and we go into patient and patient intake information, you can see now all the information is here. Okay, but we also have all the medical history questions that he answered, the family histories, you know, all the questions you had answered here. So you can click on financial policy. You can see where he signed off on the financial policy, the new patient consent, and the office policies here. So that's where the patient intake information goes into for when they fill out that, you know, those questionnaires. You can print this out if you wanted to, and it'll go ahead and print all this information out for you. So, so that is the patient intake section. The last thing I wanted to show you was the electronic superbill option. So when you're visiting with a patient, you can go in and you can actually add charges here. And this is completely customizable. It's basically an electronic superbill. So the physician or the nurse practitioner can go take this tablet into the exam room, and they could actually fill out the charges right here. So you can fill out like a 99213. You can go ahead and select the diagnosis codes. I'll just go ahead and select a couple that I know are entered into Lytec here. And let's see, 9973610. Let me find. So now, once you have everything checked off, you can go ahead and click on submit. And basically, you, whoops, sorry, you have to select a provider here. So we're going to say Dr. Danny Little, we're going to submit that charge, and now there's a check mark next to his name. So not only do we have the icon here showing that the patient information was reviewed, we also have a check mark here for the electronic superbill. So now if we go back into Lytec, and we go into billing, we go to pending transactions. Now you're going to see Donald Gregg here listed, and everything that was sent over from Lytec Mobile is now entered here as a charge. Now you could obviously modify this or change anything that you need to, but if everything's good, you just click on save, and now that will save this as a charge in Lytec. And then you're ready to bill it out.